In this broadcast, we're diving deep into a topic that sits at the intersection of money, meaning, and mission, financial freedom with purpose. For many people, financial freedom is defined very narrowly. It's about retiring early, escaping work, or finally having enough money to stop worrying. But I want to challenge that idea today because real financial freedom is not about escaping responsibility. It's about gaining choice. Financial freedom means having the ability to align your time, your energy, and your resources with what truly matters. It means that your work becomes a choice, not a necessity. Your giving becomes intentional, not reactive, and your spending reflects your values, not your impulses. In Chapter 7 of my book, Retirement Fallacy, I argue that money is not the goal, purpose is. Money is simply a tool that allows purpose to flow. Today, we'll explore what financial freedom actually is and what it isn't, how to balance frugality with purposeful spending, and why cash flowing assets matter more than retirement dates, and real world examples of people who turned financial success into lasting impact. So let's get started. Financial freedom is often misunderstood. Many people think it means never working again. Others believe it's about reaching a certain net worth or withdrawing from society entirely, which wouldn't be too bad for some of us. Some of us who are introverted at times. But that mindset creates a new problem. It divorces money from meaning. True financial freedom means this: you are no longer forced to exchange your time for survival. Or, more easily stated, you're no longer required to exchange your time for money. That doesn't mean you stop working. It means your work becomes voluntary. You can choose projects that align with your values, walk away from toxic environments, serve, mentor, or create without financial panic. Continue contributing without fear of scarcity. The goal is not idleness, it's alignment. So this is why the inability to retire should never be caused by poor planning. If someone continues working later in life, it should be because they want to, not because they have to. And that distinction, it matters. And one of the biggest flaws in traditional financial planning is that it almost exclusively focuses on the accumulation phase, not the production, not the distribution, but the accumulation. The standard model says save aggressively, build a large nest egg, stop working, slowly draw down your accounts. But this approach assumes your productive years end at a specific age. A purpose-driven model asks a different question. How can I build assets that keep working, even if I slow down? Cash flowing assets changes everything. These include things like businesses, royalties from books, intellectual property, rental real estate, dividend producing stocks, licensing agreements, or brand partnerships. Having cash flow gives you options. If your health declines, income continues. If you decide to do some form of volunteer work, income continues. If you reduce your hours, your income continues. This is not about greed, it's about financial resiliency. Now let's talk about balance, because this is where many people get stuck. Frugality is important, discipline matters, and waste drains purpose. But frugality without purpose becomes fear-based hoarding. And on the other hand, spending without discipline becomes chaos. Purposeful spending asks a better question. Does this expense support who I'm becoming or what I'm building? Purposeful spending might include education, health and fitness, tools that multiply your productivity, experiences that strengthen your family and faith, giving that advances causes that you believe in. Being cheap is not the same as being wise. Wise stewards save intentionally and spend intentionally. Let's look at 3 powerful examples. Let's start with George Foreman. He didn't start building lasting wealth in his first career as a boxer. His real financial breakthrough came later through business. The George Foreman Grill generated hundreds of millions of dollars, far surpassing his boxing career. But here's the key point. He used that wealth to fund ministry, community programs, and charitable causes. Money became the fuel for his mission. David Green built Hobby Lobby around deeply held values. He viewed business as stewardship. The result was a profitable enterprise that funded museums, scholarships, faith initiatives, and long-term cultural impact. This is what happens when profit and purpose move together. And we can't forget Colonel Harlan Sanders. He didn't achieve major success until later in life, but the systems he built outlived him. Decades after his death, Kentucky Fried Chicken still provides a scholarship program that continues to bless thousands of students. This is institutional legacy, financial structures that keep serving long after the founder is gone. And here's the big picture takeaway. Retirement is not an ending, it's a transition. When you build income-producing assets, keep learning and adapting, align money with mission, you gain the freedom to serve for life. Scripture puts it this way: the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Diligence is not frantic hustle, it's thoughtful preparation. When wealth is built with intention, it becomes a blessing, not just to you, but to generations. Let me leave you with this question. What would your life look like if money were no longer the constraint, but purpose was the compass? Financial freedom is not about stopping, it's about choosing wisely. Choose to build, choose to give, choose to keep contributing. Money fades, but legacy remains. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please like it, please share it with someone else you believe will add value to, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, don't retire from life, build freedom with purpose. God bless.